We live up in the Northwest, and so if you haven't figured out concrete siding yet, you should. Fiber cement was invented for the South Pacific originally in order to withstand hurricanes and to be waterproof, and it is. The only problem with fiber cement is it's not your typical board, and so you have problems with cutting it and nailing it and putting it up. It's a bit heavier and it's fussy to cut. Snapper shears made by Pactool is one of the best models possible for fiberform shears. And so what happens is this particular model will go up to 5/8 inch thick fiberboard, and you run this set of shears on your piece of fiberboard, and it cuts it and spits out a little peel in the centerpiece as you run through it. So you cut the center of the line along the center of the shears as you drive it along. It's got a handy little pop-up belt hook if you need it. Fancy, but I don't know if it's necessary. But if you're going to do fiber board, these shears become essential for you to be able to do it. You can cut your angles and your layout with this, no problem. When you're putting up fiberboard, we rent only a max siding coil nailer. You put up fiberboard with one of these. It's a self-spooling, and there's a video on the max siding nailer. This is the CN565S on YouTube and also on our website that explains how to operate this machine. I won't go into detail on it other than to say that this is a great coil gun and it's no problem to use. The interesting things that we added on this was Pactool's couple of things that let you do your own siding. First of all, these are called they're called Gecko Gauges, and I guess the reason they call them Gecko is that they stick like a gecko. And so what you do with these is as you move along and you put your piece of first board on, you slide these up under. There's a cam mechanism here that you operate, and it cams onto your piece of fiberboard, and you can drop your next piece on and nail it on and work the same pattern all the way up. And so the Gecko Gauges actually have a video that we'll put on the website, but you can also look it up. These things are really cool, and they're handy for doing your own job, or when you're putting up siding by yourself. I would say it goes so far as to say they're essential to get a nice clean lines when you're doing fiberboard. It's important that only main thing is important that your overlap is consistent and that your overlap covers all the nails. So these are the Gecko Gauges that are in our rental kit. And then I couldn't help but spring, or we couldn't help but spring for a Gable Scribe. And what is that? When you get up to the final bit of your gable, your fiberboard needs to be cut at the same angle. This lets you get that angle and transfer it onto your piece of fiberboard without a lot of fussing and fighting. Is it necessary? No. Is it convenient and nice? Yes. And it will let you get your job done faster. A couple of things that also come with this that's not so terribly complicated, and they're pretty easy, is 50 feet of non-kinking hose and 150 psi compressor. So this is a completely portable kit. You rent it for a week, get up all your siding done, and be done. Here's a couple of things right before we end the video. Joe, let me show this image right here. That's an example of the snapper shear in action, and you can see how it does peel. Perfect. You see how it does peel the center piece out on your chalk line or on your pencil line as you cut accordingly. And then when I talked about the Gecko shears being very easy to use, you can see their demonstration here is just 4 pictures and some explanation. But basically you put it on, you activate the cam, you put your piece on above it, you nail it, and what they don't show you is you just release the cam, slide them out, put it on the next one. So when you're putting up this kind of siding and you don't have an extra set of hands, or you don't want to pay for an extra set of hands, this little tool added into our rental will save you a lot of time, effort, and headache. And I think that this is an ideal little portable siding setup for anybody to use. We hope you enjoy it as much as we do.